Hi, True Crew. How you doing? Welcome back to another episode. If you're a new viewer, once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope you find some value within this video. Go ahead and check out a couple other ones. If you think that there is great information here that's not only going to help you grow, but help others, subscribe. Putting out videos daily. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Check out the website. Get your free download, Setting Goals, Fitness, and Nutrition. All the links are down below. Coming at you today with a quick video on what is the true definition of our population problem, right? We're hearing this all the time. The world's overpopulated. There's not much we can do, right? And to tell you the truth, it's a big lie, in my opinion. I think it's a really big lie. I'm going to start off with this one. It might turn some of you off, but just hear me out, and we'll go from there. I was vegan for about 8 months, 9 months, something like that, a couple years ago. Great. Picked up a few books, magazines, vegan magazines. And I think one thing that was very interesting is where they talk about, well, we can't feed the world. And then they try to say we have these GMOs that are going to help us feed the world, right? But in reality, a majority of the GMO foods are put into processed crap, and then those foods are also used to feed the cattle and the poultry and things like that to help for us to eat, at least in first world countries. And in reality, they said you have to feed a chicken that grows to 5 pounds, 20 pounds of food just to get that chicken to 5 pounds, right? So in reality, for a family, right, that's going to be 3 meals, maybe, for, like a family of 3. That'll give you 3 meals and 20 pounds of feed for that. Well, in reality, 20 pounds of beans and rice and grains are going to feed a family for a lot longer than 5 pounds of meat, right? So I'm gonna go right there. That right there kind of debunks that population problem that we can't feed them. In reality, we're just eating the wrong things. And I know they say you can have nutritional deficiencies and things like that of B12 and whatever the other one is, I don't know. But in reality, we've got people dying just because they can't eat. I think a B12 deficiency in humans would be less of an issue, right? Especially since you can just take B12. But once again, food for thought. I don't really care. So next is I made another video on a false utopian society, or this lie they try to feed us, right? And you can see it right now. Eventually, we're going to get to a world where there's just going to be a worldwide general income. And I think that's the biggest reason that they're trying to push this depopulation thing. Because in reality, with as many people as there are on this planet, all you can really afford to do is give if somebody, right now they're like, oh, we'll be able to give them $5,000 a year, $10,000 a year, right? Well, what are they trying to say? I think if I remember correctly, I know America, we have, like 350, we're probably close to 400 million people. I can tell you right now, living in Colorado, you could go from here in Denver to Fort Collins, and there is even Wyoming, the Wyoming border, and there's plenty of open land, right? The problem is nobody wants to live in those areas. Nobody wants to live on a farm or in an area where you would have to commute or drive longer distances for food or gas or something like that. So in reality, we just are overpopulating ourselves in a confined space, which makes it seem that perception of overpopulation, but we're really not overpopulated. There's plenty of room in these states, especially in the middle of the country. But once again, I think the biggest issue is that, let me rewind real quick. The biggest issue I've heard it said best is the reason why when they talk about overpopulation, who do you usually hear it from? The elites, right? Zuckerberg, right? I think he's the Facebook guy, right? Bill Gates, whatever, the politicians, the people that already got money. So when it comes down to, oh, the world's overpopulated, what they're saying is there's too many of you. There's too many of me. They need to get rid of us and our family, not their family, because they're wealthy. They're in a different class. They're better than you. Than me. They think that. Trust me. They believe that, right? They've already got enough money. So in reality, they're saying there's too much of us peasants, us regular folks. Remember that. That's what they're truly saying. But the biggest key is you've got to understand that right now, even when you want to say, I'm going to get a little political, so I apologize. Right, the recession happened. We added a bunch of jobs. Unfortunately, they were part-time jobs, right? Because now business owners are struggling, so they drop your hours. They hire more people. They're cutting your hours. They're hiring more people, so they don't have to give you benefits. They don't have to give you health care. The minimum wage is being raised in some places by $5-6 an hour. So now they're having to once again cut back your hours, work more, or just close down their businesses. So in reality, we went from full-time jobs, $30, $40, $50, $60,000 a year, to part-time jobs of $15, $20, $25,000 a year. So in reality, yeah, $5,000, $10,000 is going to help, but in reality, that's still not going to satisfy people, especially when not that many people are that spiritual, that religious, and they're too materialistic. So we need things. We need to keep buying, purchasing. And unfortunately, $25,000 a year plus an extra $5,000 isn't really going to help you in anything. That's still only going to help you purchase bills, right? And food and things like that, and pay your bills. So in reality, the true reason I believe for this depopulation is that's the only way that they can actually give us an income, this worldwide income, without having to work, that's actually going to work, right? They have to depopulate the world by half. If all they can do right now is pay everybody $5,000, imagine if you cut the entire population in half. Well, now everybody would be able to get $40,000, right? So then they could give you a job where you're only making, you only work 2 hours a day and make $5,000 a year. Well, that's all right, because they're already paying you 40 or 50 or 60,000, and you're only working to make $5,000. So I think that's the real reason for this whole depopulation agenda. Why? Because if they do, then they can actually give you a worldwide income. But unfortunately, first they have to kill in some way, shape, or form a majority of us to make that utopian society. The unfortunate thing is the utopian society means a majority of us have to die, right? So it's a bunch of BS. That was my main point when I wanted to get to this whole video. But in reality, it comes to living within your means, not being so materialistic within ourselves, because once we stop being that materialistic, having that throwaway culture of I can buy a shirt that's got a stain on it, well, instead of doing my laundry, I'll throw it away. These millionaire basketball players, pro players, rappers, just famous people in general, Hollywood. Like, I don't even wear the same pair of underwear twice. Seriously? Like, that's what your dollars go to when you're purchasing these people's shoes, watching their movies, and whatever other BS that we fall victim to. Is you're allowing them not to wear the same pair of underwear every day, the same pair of socks every day. When in reality, I've got some underwear upstairs right now with some holes in them, and I still wear them because I don't really care, right? So, once again, it's voting with your dollar. Once you truly become satisfied, when you are spiritually strong and you don't need all this other crap, and I've got crap everywhere, I won't lie. But once you truly understand that you don't need these things, that's how you hurt them the most, right? That's how you make them uncomfortable, by not giving them your dollar. And saving your money for yourself, for your family, all right? So think about that, food for thought, depopulation agenda, what's it really about? Those are my thoughts, some of my research I've done. Like I said, the last one I said about that's the only way they can give that general income for the world. I've never heard that before. That was something that I thought was original to me. Maybe I'm wrong. You can let me know. But yeah, let's get in the comment box. Let me know what other things that you're thinking of that could probably, get this conversation to the next level. So once again, I hope this helps. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Subscribe to this channel. Share and like these videos.